Good to see you, YouTube. It feels so good to be back from my creation vacation. Full transparency, one of the reasons why I've been away for so long is that I've been trying to figure out how to adapt my channel to all these new algorithm changes YouTube has been throwing at us over the last year. So drop a comment and let me know what you think of the new backdrop. The repetitive loops had to go because the algorithm may have been mistaking my channel as AI, but honestly, I really like how this turned out. Now onto the video, because I have been waiting for so long to do a top horror movies you can watch for free right here on YouTube for a while now. So with all that said, let's talk movies. Kicking off this list, we got Grave Encounters, which is not a perfect movie by any means, but it is fun. There is a sequel to it that didn't need to be made, so just treat this as if it's its own standalone film. It's about a ghost hunting TV show that locked themselves inside an abandoned, haunted insane asylum overnight, and all that gets recovered is the footage. Obviously, it's a found footage movie. But for the longest time, this was easily one of my favorite found footage movies ever. Whether you're a fan of found footage movies or not, you should at least give this one a chance if you haven't seen it already. If you like found footage, you'll probably like this, and if you don't, this one is better than most of them. To be honest, I could have made this whole list using only found footage movies just because of the amount of them that are available for free on YouTube right now, but I chose to narrow it down to two specific recommendations. That was a quick bonus recommendation if you loved Curry Barker's Obsession and haven't checked out his debut film Milk and Cereal yet, you should definitely go back and check that one out. Up next, we have House LLC, which is a great movie to get you into the Halloween spirit. It's about a group of friends converting an actual haunted hotel into a Halloween attraction that goes horribly wrong. The atmosphere and jump scares in this are very clever, but just like Grave Encounters, the first one is the best, so you don't really need to bother with its sequels. They're okay, I guess, but nothing compares to the original, which you can watch for free on YouTube right now. Up next, we have Night of the Living Dead. I don't talk too much about black and white movies on this channel as much as I do love and collect them. So if that's something you'd like to see me cover more on this channel, let me know how you feel about old black and white horror movies in the comments below. Night of the Living Dead is technically the first black horror movie that focuses on the systemic horrors black people face in society, similar to something like Get Out, which actually has a ton of homages to Night of the Living Dead hidden in it. The interesting thing is that the late great George A. Romero didn't originally write it to be a social commentary. He simply cast Dwayne Jones as the lead actor because he felt he was best suited for the role. But then while filming, Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated, which caused Romero to incorporate that moment in history into the rolling credits that ended up changing the context of the entire film. So make sure you see this one through to the end. It's an incredible movie that still holds up surprisingly well. If you don't mind old black and white horror movies, this is an absolute classic that everyone should watch at least once in their lifetime. Up next, we have the first Terrifier movie, which again is a great movie to get you into the Halloween spirit because it all takes place on Halloween night. It's not a perfect movie by any means, and in my opinion is the weakest of the three Terrifier movies so far, just because it's a great introduction to Art the Clown as a character, and that's basically it. As much as I still have fun with it, I can also see and understand its flaws. When it comes to the Terrifier franchise as a whole, I kind of view Terrifier 2 as the first entry in a trilogy, Terrifier 3 is the second, and the soon-to-be-released Terrifier 4 is the conclusion, just based on how the overarching story is actually written. But if you want to see where Art the Clown's modern legacy started without paying a dime, it's definitely worth a watch. Just keep your expectations low. And lastly, we have my personal favorite on this list, Summer of '84. It is a horror movie directed by RKSS, the exact same Canadian filmmaking team behind one of my personal favorite B-movies of all time, Turbo Kid. Except with Summer of '84, they decided to take a stab at a straight-up horror thriller instead of leaning heavily into the horror comedy side of things. This movie is probably one of my favorite hidden gems in my collection that I rarely ever hear anyone talking about, but whenever someone does eventually bring it up, they usually have high praise for it. It can be a bit of a slow burn at the start, and because the directors brought back the same synthwave group that they used to make the Turbo Kid soundtrack, some people tend to write this off at first glance as a Stranger Things knockoff, which is one of the reasons why it's so overlooked. It really isn't, though, and completely stands on its own as its own unique thing. Like, there's no science fiction in it at all. They were just both heavily inspired by the exact same era of 80s cinema. So make sure you see this one through to the end, because it's probably one of the worst movies to not finish ever. But that's going to be it from me. I will be including links to these in the description below. I'm not sure if I'm going to get something out in September, but I do have something special planned for October this year. So if you're into B-movies, cult classics, hidden gems, and horror, or just in the mood for something different than what the mainstream media has to offer you, like, subscribe, hype if you have any left, and I will see you again in the next video. Thanks for watching.